The new tool, #doubtedme. Let's not villainize people who use Excel, just quick and dirty stuff. Boo. I honestly feel like it's stupid. I'll give you a very quick example right off the bat. Don't distract my train of thought, my vision. I haven't figured out how to use this. So, have you noticed how many Airtable clones there are out there? Well, there's more. And today we're going to be reviewing yet another one to see if it's actually any good. And the name of that low-code Airtable inspired database is Seatable, as in, ocean, sea, that sort of thing. If you're new here, hi, my name is Alex, and here on this channel we talk about anything and everything low-code, no-code, automations, AI, databases, you freaking name it. We probably cover it or will cover it at some point. Without any further ado, let's get stuck in. Okay, so as we usually do with these kinds of first impression videos, I've already spent about 24 hours with the tool, and let's begin with the general UX UI of the website and of course the builder and the interface in general. So here we have the website, and generally speaking, it's really nicely designed, and the first thing that you kind of see is immediately the grid view, which should, if you're doing your research and you're trying to pick the right tool, you should recognize this, because pretty much every Airtable clone will have this sort of design language in terms of their grid view. The new tool, #doubtedme. As simple as Excel with the power of a database. Okay, more than just a spreadsheet. Now, I can kind of see a bit of a recurring theme with Excel in general. If you read their documentation, it kind of alludes to it quite a lot. Let's not villainize people who use Excel. Excel is still super, super good. I use it occasionally just to make some quick calculations, just quick and dirty stuff. It's all good. But when you're dealing with KPI-able data, things that matter, yeah, you definitely need a database. I mean, yeah, the design of the website is generally quite good. Let's now log in. And as you can see, immediately when I try to log in, I don't have the ability to log in with Google. So, boo, love logging in with Google. It's far more secure, I feel. But anyway, regardless, let's still log in. All right, so now we're in. And as you can see, again, super, super clean design. Very, very simple. You have your options on the left, and then you have your results on the right. If I click on apps, you have your choices on the left, you have your results on the right. Generally speaking, super, super clean. You also have a little search bar up here. Wonder what that does. You have some notifications, and of course you have your profile. All very nice and tidy. I can't really complain. Let's now jump in and see what the experience is like within the editor. Again, super clean. The one comment that I have is that it's super similar to Airtable. It's exactly the same structure. Now, one recurring thing that you'll see with this review of Seatable is that they make some choices that to me feel like they're just making them to differentiate themselves, but they don't really necessarily subscribe to any kind of logical reasoning. I'll give you a very quick example right off the bat. So I have all of these freaking options up here. Apps, forms, statistics, something else, sharing, plugins and more. There's even more. Yet I have all of this weird white space up here. And why did you just shove all of these options right up there? It's weird. It's distracting. What if I need to find something very quickly? Why is it all there when there's so much other space to put this in? But you can call me nitpicky at this point, but let's move on. Generally speaking, the experience is great. When I say great, I mean that everything's very snappy. So you see how I'm switching from table to table and just appears. There's almost no loading time. That's great. That's exactly what we need. When it comes to positioning of things, the tables are at the top, the views are on the side. There is quirks to this, and we're gonna get there when we're gonna start building a database in a few seconds. But generally speaking, the UX UI is super clean. Everything's in the right place. Now, let's actually start to build a quick little database. So I've begun building this quick little database. Let's now add a table to it. All you have to do is just press here, create an empty table, and you get this little pop-up that comes up, which I honestly feel like it's stupid. Why do I get a pop-up? Why do you have to distract my vision of where I was working, now a pop-up just for a single name? Really? Even Excel that you hate so much, or you think that your clients come from Excel, when you create a new tab, it just allows you to edit it immediately, right there and then. Like, why not mimic that? But anyway, let's just add a new table, customers, submit, and let's try to now navigate some other aspects of building. And let's say you want to create a new view, add a view. Again, I get this little pop-up, and you don't get this, I think, in other places. I might be a little bit wrong, but why? Why can't I just create a new view from here, add it, edit the name, job done? Like, I'm there. Don't distract my train of thought, my vision of what I'm trying to do. But anyway, I digress. Let's keep moving. Let's now discuss how we actually link records, because to me that is an important part of building a relational database, especially in a low-code setting. Let's say we have John Doe here, and I want to link John Doe to orders. So the most important thing to note, which is kind of interesting, is that you only get one shot to link a table to another table. Here's what I mean. Let's do a little experiment. So let's call this orders, and then here in type, you'll see that I have the ability to link this to other records. But if I don't, and I press submit, and then I change my mind, actually, you know what, orders, I want you to be a linked column. Let's click here on customize column type. Suddenly, I can't link it. I have to create a whole new field for this. And I also seem to get a lot less options of fields. Bottom line, it's a little bit of a quirk. Let's delete this column and let's add a new column. Let's call it orders again, and actually link it to other records. Linking actually is fairly straightforward. We're linking this to orders. There's some more settings. You can choose which name you want to display from that other table. You can limit to max one row. You can limit this also to a view. All the good stuff. Submit. Now I can choose an order. And at this point, again, they are doing something really interesting here. They're giving you all of the fields that are available within that table. But for some dumb reason, these guys decided that, you know what, it's a good idea to actually have all of the fields and space them out and also make this into like a little card. But why? Like, if you're giving me the headers up here at the top, which I feel like is a fantastic idea, it's great, why not just give me a grid below, right? Why all of this white space? I don't get it. But anyway, bottom line is that you can then link the record that you need to link. You just click on it and it's already linked. If you want to link more records, you can do just, multi-select and click out. There is another interesting thing about how this linking works. So let me just demonstrate this on this example here. When you have the links that you need, you also have the ability to actually sort them while linking, which is amazing. You can also show and hide certain fields. Like, let's say I want to hide the cost field. I can just toggle it off. So that is, again, just brilliant thinking that I wish we had in Airtable or in other places. Awesome idea. Whoever thought about this, really, really good. And finally, in conclusion about linking, you can immediately tell that everything works exactly as it should. You just click on a record, a linked record, and you get all the details of that record, and you can also edit them. It's just exactly what the doctor ordered. You can also add comments. All of this is very, very typical of Airtable, Smart Suite, all of these systems that allow you to build low-code databases. Now, it's time to talk about views, and more specifically, the kind of options that we get with the Seatable. Again, I don't know if you noticed, but when I was adding a new view previously, you don't get to choose the type of view, which is really annoying. And it's a precursor, again, to one of those things where they are overcomplicating things without any reason. So where are the view? It's ridiculous. Like, we only have a grid view? No, they are hidden in plugins. And if you go here, add plugins, you have your views. So again, why overcomplicate such a simple thing? I just want to see my data in a slightly different way, i.e. a different view. Why call it a plugin? This is not WordPress. So yeah, the saving grace of this, at least, is the fact that we have the ability to create a calendar, a timeline, a gallery, map, Kanban, but then you have deduplication in there. You have page design, you have a SQL query. Those are not views. Those are very different plugins. I mean, these are what I would be calling apps, but I want to have different views. Why are views plugins? And okay, plugins are plugins, but why overcomplicate such a simple thing? Let's talk about a different type of view, which is my favorite thing to nitpick on, and that is forms. And again, you would have expected that if they put all of your extra views other than the default grid view into plugins, you would have a form builder here, right? No, forms are up here. Once you click on it and you want to add a new form, you have to choose a traditional form, name the form, and then you get taken away from your database. A whole new tab opens up, and now you can build your form. All my criticisms aside about the, pop-ups, the new tabs opening, it's actually a very decent form builder. Let me show you some of the examples of brilliant thinking that these guys have. So I can add remarks, like a little comment. I can add a horizontal line, like a little divider between my questions. So they are clearly thinking about UX UI. Seriously. Then you can bring in your fields, drag and drop. Moreover, you can actually make the fields required. You can also add conditions, i.e. when do I want to show a particular field. You can change the name. They have thought about so many different details about this. You can edit the help caller text. You can message after submission or redirect. There is even a deadline for submission. Like, all of these very cool niche features are there, but how you get there is a little bit odd. Okay, time to talk about fields. What kind of options does Seatable offer in terms of fields? Now, let's begin with the amount of fields. So I'm just gonna open up a new column, and as you can see, there is a decent array of options. Some of the most notable ones that I particularly liked are geolocation, the digital signature, and there was one more. Well, actually, no. The other one was a criticism. So let's take a look at this. Geolocation is awesome. What I mean by awesome is that I can double click it. I can put a pin somewhere, click out, that's done. Easy as that. I don't need to add any API keys, anything like that. Now, signature, I haven't figured out how to use this. I have a feeling it will only work within the confines of running an app. We're gonna talk about that. But when you create a digital signature, it says, please sign on this panel. Nothing happens. I'm clicking, but nothing is happening. In Smart Suite, we had the similar problem, and you had to jump in and you can edit the signature inside of the record, just like I'm doing now. Still nothing. So I don't know what's up with that. But ultimately, there is that option. How it works, I don't know. Let's talk about attachments. And again, why are they overcomplicating this? Why do I have to differentiate between images and files? Attachments are attachments. Whether they are files or PDFs or documents or whatever it is, why do I have to differentiate them? You basically have both of these field types. I don't know why. But again, they're just overcomplicating something that shouldn't be overcomplicated. It just should be just one option, files, that's it. Having said that, although that's a criticism, you can download all. You can also, and this is somewhere in here in the options, there is a whole dedicated file management system where you can see all of your files folderized by date and separated by images and whatnot. Ultimately, it's kind of nice that they are thinking about these extra things that we always need within a low-code database builders. They implement them, but overcomplicate some of the steps in the process. At this point, I want to talk to you about formulas and my experience with their formula builder, which is something that is close to my heart. I care about how formula fields work. So let's talk about some of the good stuff and some of the not so good stuff. So let's customize column type. And here I have a very simple formula that I've inputted in. Here's some of the quirks. Let's try and write this out together, shall we? So product. Now, typically I could just press enter and it would pick up on the first column or something like that. When I say it, I mean Airtable or SmartSuite. No, here you have to actually press on the damn thing. And in fact, not even that, you have to like press on the plus little symbol next to each variable. If you want to write it out, if I don't capitalize it, product, price, same field, right? No. If you try to submit it, it just won't go. Why can't I just do my thing? Like, why? This is so frustrating. Now, from here, let's talk a little bit about the options that we get. I'm just gonna clear this out so we can discuss this. In general, there's loads of options, and I mean that. They have math functions, constants, loads of operators, text functions. Although, side note, in text, they've skipped on the concatenate function, which I feel like it's basic function you can have, but no, Seatable knows best. We have date functions. It's just super impressive. Also, we have statistics functions, which kind of alludes to array functions, which is a big thumbs up. It's great to see array functions. Although I wish we had holy grail of functions, the select function. We don't have it here, but at least they have a decent selection of array functions that will cover you for the most part. So to be totally honest, this is good. This is fair play, even with the few slight quirks. It's time to discuss some of the special features that Seatable has. And let's begin with any kind of AI thing it's missing. There's no AI fields, there's none of that happening. But it's okay. Like, I can understand that startups have bigger fish to fry rather than creating like a whole AI thing. Unless you are Airtable, that's their thing. But Seatable, no, unfortunately, there's none of that. But there's plenty of other things that kind of make up for that. And first point of call is apps. Now, when you want to add an app, you obviously go there and then you want to add app. This is interesting. Apps, to me, sound like front ends. And the universal app is literally that. Let's just put something in there. It is a front end builder. And I think it's a fantastic idea. Although, again, a new tab opens up, but you know, it is what it is. But you can see that here you can create tables, forms, calendars, a custom page, timeline, so many cool things. So definitely big thumbs up. Awesome thing, especially from a startup. The rest of it, data query, gallery, dude, those are just views. Why are we trying to rebrand the humble view into apps or plugins? It makes no sense. Leave the views alone. Let's call a spade a spade. Now, the special features, of course, don't stop there. There's plenty of other things that you can do. As I've already alluded to, there is a file management system where you can manage all the files that you have stored within your database. There is the ability to write custom code, so you can add your JavaScript or Python code in here. Great, geared towards fairly advanced users, but it's nice to know it's there right out of the bat. And holy moly, there's even the ability to sync your emails in. You just go here to third-party integrations, email syncs. Basically, what this does, it pulls all your emails and the threads from your email account into Seatable. Now, I doubt that you can reply. I haven't really fully checked out this particular feature, but it's so nice to see that somebody is actually listening to the market. This is one of the biggest issues that we have with Airtable and SmartSuite, where we can't get our emails in order to build that custom CRM that everybody really wants. Part of the CRM, a huge part, while I think people choose things like Salesforce, is because you can sync your emails in and you basically just have one platform for emails, contact management, the whole lot. I doubt that you can do this here. It just syncs your emails in and probably links them in some weird way, but ultimately it's there. It's nice to have a dedicated integration for that. All right, so now it's time to talk about my conclusions in regards to Seatable. Now, I really like the product, but I would like to see few things changed. Number one, rejiggle your UI. Like, get rid of some of that white space that doesn't really need to be there. Also, stop doing pop-ups. Stop doing that. Just try to keep my experience as close to where I am as possible. There's so many great examples of how this is done. You can even look at Excel itself. You can look at Airtable. You can look at Smart Suite. You can look at Table. So many great examples of how to do good UX. Also, make sure that all my view-related data is in the views where I create them. Not in plugins, not in apps. Views are views. They have a dedicated space. Right where you have that grid view, just add the rest of the view types there, and I'll be happy. Also, get rid of the word plugins. This is not WordPress. Just call everything apps and maybe, I don't know, front ends or pages or something like that if you want to relate to that universal app builder thing, which, by the way, honestly, fantastic thing. Keep working at that. I feel like Seatable should really pump up their marketing about that feature. Okay, it's in beta, but you should talk about it more. I feel like it's a great selling point that not only do you have this database, but also you can create an app on top of it. Maybe you're too shy right now, but still, it's looking good. And my final point to anybody from Seatable who's watching this, guys, it's nice to know that I have the ability to add Python or JavaScript, but something like a low-code automation platform that is in-house within my base would really help. I don't want to learn how to code just because I need to copy paste the value from this field to this field. I mean, most of your users are, like you say, Excel based or spreadsheet based. Keep it simple for them, for us. Ultimately, I'm super impressed with Seatable. They've achieved a lot in a very short period of time. And I really, really want to see what they come up with in the next year or so and how the platform will evolve and gain more and more market share within this world of local database builders.